With the cost of groceries and gas stressing budgets across Missouri, many families would gladly welcome some help. But the Better Business Bureau is warning people to be aware of postcards that are offering something for nothing. Now, the BBB says these postcards are showing up in mailboxes with the promise of free gas or grocery vouchers. People say when they try to claim the offers, they were asked to pay a processing fee. And afterwards, they saw additional charges on their accounts and they never received any vouchers. Consumer advocates say taking advantage of people when money is tight is straight from the scammer playbook.
Coming up with a postcard that can help consumers spread that household budget a little bit farther is unfortunately the perfect opportunity to get someone involved, because scammers are counting on that emotional reaction. And if someone is already financially stressed, this can seem like the answer to their prayers.
And schemes like this are a good reminder that you don't have to pay anything to claim legitimate prizes. It's also wise to do your research if you get an unsolicited offer. And always be careful and cautious if anyone is asking you for your personal information.